Hey guys, it's Alyssa. So today I'm going to be talking about the Adventure Time finale and how Adventure Time has impacted my life. Everything I'm going to talk about in this video is my own opinion and it's just my story because I see a lot of people sharing their Adventure Time stories, how it has affected them, made them who they are, and sometimes even things that impacted their lives. And I'm also wearing my Adventure Time shirt. Ta-da! So I remember seeing Adventure Time for the very first time when I was in high school. Probably when I was around 15, 16, very early high school. The thing about me and cartoons back then is that when I hit high school, I started to learn you shouldn't really watch cartoons. You are becoming an adult. You're like a teenager. Like teenagers don't watch cartoons. Cartoons are for kids. So I kind of just didn't want to associate myself with Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or Disney Channel or anything like that because I moved on. I grew up and I liked cartoons, but I just didn't watch them as often as I did back in elementary school, middle school. But I remember I had Cartoon Network on one day on a weekend and I started seeing promotions and commercials for a show called Adventure Time. And I started to think, this looks cool, this looks fun. It looks like something that I've never seen before, and it's very different from all the other cartoons that I've seen in the past growing up. So I decided to look up the show, watch a couple episodes, and I instantly fell in love with it. Finn is such a great character. Jake being his best friend, his brother, is also a great character. They're both just so amazing, and that's why it's called Adventure Time with Finn and Jake. And I just started to learn about these characters: Princess Bubblegum, Marceline the Vampire Queen, Ice King, Lumpy Space Princess. They're all just so amazing. And Bimo. Let's not forget Bimo. Bimo was so important. And I started to realize that this show is for kids. It's on Cartoon Network. It is a cartoon, but it related to teenagers. It related to young adults. And I didn't really talk about Adventure Time with really anyone when I was in high school. I think I might have brought it up a couple times, but I didn't really talk about my geeky, nerdy side. I only spoke about it with very few people. My friends like that kind of stuff, but we just didn't bring it up as often. Then when I hit college, I started learning and meeting people who liked cartoons, and I started going on the internet more. I think I made a Tumblr in middle of the high school too, so that probably brought out some stuff in me as well. But I didn't start watching cartoons on the daily or regularly until I was late high school, very early college. That's when I got into Steven Universe. That's when I got into Gravity Falls. It was just I started realizing that cartoons just weren't always meant for kids, or that adults, they can watch cartoons too. It's totally fine. And Adventure Time kind of sparked that in people. I know now that the demographic for Adventure Time were young kids. They were mostly for young boys, but any age can watch it. I know a lot of young adults who watch Adventure Time. If you look at conventions and people who love the show and talking about it online, they're mostly all adults. And it's kind of ironic how Adventure Time has really impacted my life. I've seen stories of people I met my wife with Adventure Time, and I made my group of friends from Adventure Time. But for me, I kind of got my job because of Adventure Time. Because I got back into the world of cartoons because of Adventure Time on Cartoon Network, I started learning more about characters and plots and feelings and emotions and arcs that just weren't available when I was a kid in those cartoons. I love cartoons from the 90s and the very early 2000s, but Adventure Time is just a staple that brought out something new, and it's amazing. And that's what led me into watching more cartoons, which led me to watching Channel Frederator, which led me to audition for Cartoon Conspiracy, which led me to become the host, which led me to my job, which is kind of also ironic because Frederator is the studios behind Adventure Time. How mind-blowing is that? But it's just amazing that I actually work at the place that has that branding on it. Even though Cartoon Network owns it, they made it, and it just feels really special. And it's also amazing that there's so many creators out there that made their own shows just because they were working on Adventure Time. Steven Universe, Over the Garden Wall, Bee and Puppy Cat, OKKO, Let's Be Heroes. These are all shows that were made by people who worked on Adventure Time because Adventure Time was a staple in animation, in Kids Network. Cartoon Network did a good thing. So I really loved the Adventure Time finale. For me, it really tied up everything. I did keep up with it. I did. a lot of people were like, oh, I stopped watching after this season. Or like, I didn't really catch up anymore. But I caught up. I watched whatever new episodes came out. I usually watch them like on the app the next day, and it was just amazing to see it all come together. And it was nice that it was like kind of new. It's kind of a new plot in a way that also summarized all the other plots, because we had our Finn arc, we had our Jake arc, the Marceline and Bubblegum arc was completed, and it made me feel happy at the end. And it was just like its own adventure, which is what it is, Adventure Time, its own last adventure. But you know, it says like in the song, like the fun will never end. Well, like it kind of did end, but you just gotta keep Adventure Time in your hearts and in your brains and remember how important it is. And it's been around for 10 years. Like, yeah, you may think like less than that. There's 10 seasons, but like the short, the original pilot and everything, like it's been around for a while, and it's made a huge difference in not just the animation industry, but people who watch cartoons and appreciate cartoons. And it's not just cartoons are for kids. Like, some people may still believe that, that's totally fine, but nerd culture and fandoms and everything about that has grown so much in the past 10 years. And I'm proud to be a part of that. I'm proud to see this grow, because when I was younger and I liked video games and I liked cartoons, I was always taught that once you hit a certain point in your life, you kind of give that up a little bit. You don't involve yourself with it so much. And we live in a world where that's okay. Liking video games as an adult is okay. Liking cartoons, going to see a Disney movie, it's fine. It's part of who we are. So thank you, Adventure Time, for making me who I am today, and also giving me a career. Well, at least pushing me in the direction of a career. And it just so happens that it's what started you. Started Finn and Jake. You're awesome, I'm awesome, and thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want, you can press subscribe to find out when I post videos, because they come out early whenever I really want to make them. And if you want, you can hit that notification bell so you get an email or a notification every time I upload. If you want to follow me on all my social media sites, they're in the description box below. They're all down there. Go there and leave in the comments below your story about Adventure Time. How do you feel about it ending? Has it impacted your life in some way? Just let me know. Let's all share our stories. And I guess I'll see you guys around, okay? It's very hot in here. You know, when it gets cooler, more videos, guys. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but it's gonna happen. All right, bye. Woo!